The Hinokami Chronicles.
Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles. Right, let's head out.
Is there like a creator friendly? There's not! They hate us. I'm wearing leggings, so I didn't just flash you my coochie. I'm wearing leggings. A lady always wears her leggings. Good morning, puzzled.
The Hinokami Chronicles. 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 The Hinokami Chronicles.
You're so correct.
All right, let's do this.
I can't stand Zenitsu stands. I'm sorry. You're so real for that. You're so correct.
You can do this.
I missed it. The what? The Hinokami Chronicles. Girl, what are we gonna do when we get to Mugen Train and I haven't seen the anime, so I have to... I'm gonna get spoiled! Spoilers! That's my own fault. I got drunk at a cheesecake factory instead of watching the goddamn anime. Let me tell the story again. Last time I promised I would watch the Mugen Train arc and Kakegurui season 3, the
sure
twins thing on Netflix, and I didn't. I got drunk at a cheesecake factory instead.
Work towards changing their minds. Prove them wrong.
The moaning, please.
Hey,
be
you're
calm.
awake. You passed out cold the second we moved you here. Everyone was worried because you weren't waking up. Figures I'd be the one who'd have to watch you. I always said you were pretty out of it, but... well, I guess she was right.
I see.
What's wrong?
I want another
My head just
smoothie.
feels a little foggy. I can't really remember what happened.
Ah!
Oh, is that
I want
all?
another smoothie.
After all that, he's gonna act this way? How arrogant is this kid? My stomach hurts so bad the whole
When I
time.
pull out my phone and read the manga while this plays, so I can know what happens during the Mugen Train arc.
That's right.
Apparently the next season coming out in April is all about the girl with pink and green hair, which sign me the fuck up. She's my favorite. So excited for her. I'm gonna have to watch that.
Come on, get up. Are you gonna sleep the whole dang day? Just wake the hell up, will ya? You're in the presence of the Hashira.
I heard he was a demon slayer with a demon in tow. I was expecting someone with a bit more flair. But it's just some ordinary-looking kid.
We must see that this boy is put on trial to be judged. So it shall be.
To think that he's been protecting his sister, who was turned into a demon. What a brave and beautiful display of sibling love.
What? Who are all these people?
Don't open your mouth until you're told. Do you know who you're in the presence of? These are the Hashira.
Legends.
The Hashira? I have no idea what that is. Who are all these people? Where even am I?
This is the Demon Slayer's headquarters. You are here because you, Tanjiro Kamado, are to be put on trial. Before we begin the trial, why don't you explain the crime you have been accused of?
There's no need for a trial.
Alas, to see such a pitiful creature as this, I grieve for him. Perhaps it would have been better had he not been born at all.
Those clouds.
Gender.
What do you call them when they're shaped like that? I can't remember.
Seeing him standing there without any restraints is making me feel ill.
They're like gym
What I'm more
leaders.
interested in is hearing this boy's story.
He's in this situation because of me.
Tanjiro Kamado, as a fellow demon slayer, for what purpose are you traveling with a demon? You can take your time.
What does it look
Just
like?
answer the question.
She's my young...
You look like you need some water. I can tell you've injured your jaw, so please, drink slowly. I added an anesthetic to the water to help. Your wounds are still healing, so it would be best if you didn't push yourself. Are you ready to tell us your story now, Tanjiro?
That demon is my little sister. My family was attacked by a demon while I was gone, and I lost them all. Except for her. She may be a demon, but she's never hurt
About
anyone.
not link like
She never has, and she never will. She'll never
he's
hurt
not
a
doing a
human
very
being
good
no
lip
matter
sync.
what.
Gorge.
Enough.
Oh, he doesn't
Spare
know
us
the
absurd
words.
ramblings. Anyone would defend their family. Why should I believe a single word you say? Sorry, but I'm
This
not
guy sketches
buying
me
it.
out.
Please, just listen to me. I became a swordsman in hopes of finding her a cure. It has been 2 whole years since Nezuko became a demon, and she hasn't ever eaten anyone.
Your storytelling is lacking any vibrant sparks of color. She hasn't eaten anyone, and she never will. If you're gonna plead your case, at least make it interesting to listen to.
Excuse me. Something about this concerns me. I find it hard to believe the master would have been unaware
Why
of
are
this
Mitsuri's
situation.
S's so crisp? Like Candace and Genshin Impact.
I don't think we should act without his permission. Maybe it's best if we wait until he arrives.
My sister.
Arrives!
Let my sister stay by my side. She can fight to protect
The
humans
mic
as a demon
peeking,
slayer.
it's so...
I know she can. So please.
Well, well, well. What exactly do we have brewing over here? Is that the moron who's been traveling with a demon? Start talking. What the hell are you trying to pull here?
Oh, those new scars make Shinazugawa look even more handsome.
Go on. Say that again, kid. She can fight to protect humans as a demon slayer. Isn't that what you said? You know what we call that? Being completely out of your mind, you idiot!
Nezuko!
Anyone who harms my sister answers to me. I don't give a damn if you're one of the Hashira!
Is that supposed to scare me?
Cease this at once. The master will be here at any moment.
The master of the mansion has returned.
My beloved children, I thank you for coming here this day. Good morning to you all. The weather is strikingly nice today. Perhaps with a blue sky. Finding ourselves here at our semi-annual gathering with all the same faces. It brings me joy.
He looks wounded. No, sick maybe? Is he really their master?
Be nice.
The master. The Hashira. Nezuko. Nezuko. Where's Nezuko?
Huh? Your sister is right there. She's been asleep the whole time. Makes sense, given everything that's happened.
Right. Okay.
You look like you're still a little groggy. Why don't you go for a walk and wake yourself up? We'll be safe here in the Butterfly Mansion. And I'm pretty tired of watching over you. I'll go tell everyone you're awake. If you see anyone around, make sure you greet them properly.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sure thing. Just feel better soon, okay?
A proper greeting. Okay. Looks like I've got everyone worried. Let's go. The Butterfly Mansion. Shinobu lives here. I was brought here to recover from the wounds I received in the line of duty.
Nagito?
I should be the one to... Is that...
I can't recognize it, but probably if you recognize it. I think I'm gonna make another smoothie. Should take me in a second. The fruit's still in here, so the fruit should still be good. I'm just gonna pour the drink and the milk back in it. I actually have to do something else really quick, so if you would let me that chat, appreciated. It smells so good in here from the candles I bought. Alrighty, I'm back. this away. Vitamin water. Oop, it can't fit. This is gonna overflow. Seam. It did. I made my drink. It's just as easy as that. Drinking healthy stuff. So lovely. Why do I have a bobby pin in the back of my hair? I didn't put that there. You in there, girlfriend? Granola bar as well. Mmm, delicious. I'll probably tap out Sauce. I think I won't play the Mugen Train arc until I watch it. And I'll definitely watch, like, because I'm gonna do. The only reason I didn't watch it is because I was out all day the other day. I'll definitely watch it this time.
Huh? Is that... What's this?
This game was definitely a good refresher. Because it makes me remember like the little things, you know what I mean? Without even like having to watch the whole thing over again.
Tanjiro's awake! It's just as the Kakashi said!
Thank you. Sorry to worry you all.
How are your wounds, Tanjiro?
Oh, they're okay.
I'm so glad to hear that. But that doesn't mean you can go and do anything strenuous. Yeah, Shinobu will get mad at you.
Got it. I'll take it easy for a while.
Oh. Oh! Oh! Not good! The fuck? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Odd. I'm fine. I didn't mix my drink well enough, I guess. That was a horrible experience. I think I'm dying. Oh my god. The sneeze, the drink, the almost throwing up. Okay, all right. Girl. Let's reflect. Okay. I'm alive. We're good. For now. Okay, eclipsing moonlight.
Oh, Zenitsu! Inosuke!
Oh, Tanjiro. You sure look like you're up and refreshed.
What are you two doing here?
What do you think? We're lying in the sun. There's nothing for us to do. And, well, just look at Inosuke.
I'm sorry for being so weak.
Oh.
Anyways, you met the master, right? Oh, what was she like? What'd you think when you first saw her? Oh my gosh, please tell me she was a beauty.
The master is a man.
I've lost interest in this conversation.
And oh, so they believe in the two genders. Oh, wow.
Okay.
The pigtails?
I'm so glad you're awake.
Thank you. I'm sorry to be a burden.
This place is for treating those who have been wounded in the line of duty. It's our job to take care of you.
She said
There
duty.
is no need to apologize.
Oh, well, thank you very much then.
Though you are awake, your body may not yet be back to normal. You need to keep resting
Let's try
to
this
ensure
again.
a full recovery. Understand?
Yes, I'll do my best.
See, that's better.
Is this really the same boy who made such a fuss at the Hashira meeting?
I don't smell anything bad around here. Tomioka helped me on my mission again. I should thank him one of these days.
I think that's because we're, like, surrounded by wisteria. Like, obviously. Dumbass. Sorry. wait. Smell anything bad? Wouldn't they smell Nezuko?
It's just as you've all reported. The demon's carnage has reached an all-time high.
Wait.
This means the threat to human life is greater than it has ever been before.
Cracking the code.
We must bolster the ranks of the demon slayers. Now, what are your thoughts? The incident on Mount Naragumo says it all. The caliber of demon slayers has dropped tremendously. Most of them are completely useless. The trainers must have gone blind.
Okay, that's
You'd
not
think
nice.
They could at least tell if someone's competent or not.
Girl.
The more the human race grows, the harder it becomes to control and unify.
She's an
them.
ally.
And in
Ally.
this era, that
I mean,
seems
if
to
she's
be
a demon,
especially
she would
true.
smell like a demon.
We have those who've
I mean,
joined
she
us after
is,
their loved ones were
but
slaughtered.
Couldn't
And
we
those
smell
who have
her?
hunted demons for generations. But for the others, it's another matter entirely.
Who's Matt
Asking
Mercer?
laymen for the same
Well, I
or
know who
even
he is, but
greater
like, who,
commitment to our
where?
cause. I feel this would be much too cruel.
But we must consider that this boy, soon after joining, encountered one of the 12 Kizuki. I think he can draw them out. Even we rarely get the chance to confront one.
That's true.
I'm envious.
A fair point.
Well,
however,
not
the
every
fact that
hetero.
lowering five
The ones
makes
that
such a
aren't
drastic
allies.
move likely means
Let's make that
Kibutsuji is
clear.
far from Mount Naragumo. Like with the Saksa, whenever he wishes to hide something, he proceeds to create a clever diversion to throw us off his trail. To be honest, it's quite frustrating. But as long as these demons linger as they do now, freely devouring humans and gaining strength as a result, there is only one thing for us to do, for the sake of those who have died. I feel you who are present today, the Corps Hashira, are the finest unit I have assembled since the swordsmen of the feudal era. The very first to use breathing techniques. Tengen Uzui, Kyojuro Rengoku, Shinobu Kocho, Mitsuri Kanrochi, Uichiro Tokito, Gyome Himejima, Sanemi Shinazugawa, Obanai Iguro.
I don't trust them.
Tomio.
They don't look nice.
My beloved children, I look forward to seeing your success.
My beloved children. So where's Mother? Hi, Giovanna. Whoa! They cleaned that chapter up so fast! There was no fight! Damn! That is how season 1 ends. Well, no, this isn't it. This is in season 1, but it's like, it's weirdly at the end of the season, like they've set that up and then they do this like fight of him training and then it goes into Mugen Train. But like this episode is kind of like a couple of throwaway episodes. That really, I think they like timed it poorly. Like I don't think it was supposed to end like this, but they just had them like stocked up. But yeah, chapter 6 is definitely Mugen Train. I've seen this, so we'll do this.
It had been a few days since I'd arrived at the Butterfly Mansion, and my body was recovering nicely. Shinobu, the insect Hashira, smiled as she told me what was next.
Yeah, there's other DLC characters, like the fierce DLC characters you guys were telling me about from the new season. Like that sexy demon girl they have as playable.
Rehabilitation training.
But she wasn't in the deluxe edition, and I bought the deluxe, so I'm
I
like,
didn't know what to expect.
thanks, guys.
But it was so hard. Seriously, like
Who's
having my
hard?
heart torn out from my chest.
Literally, who's hard?
First, they stretched us out to the point of tears. Then, Aoi and Kanaho put us through the ringer, with a combination of reflex training and full-body tag practice. We had to keep doing it, day after day.
Girl, I would love to be massaged and pulled, like my body pulled, like.
Is especially
ooh,
hard
I
to
can't even
beat.
do that. My arms hurt that bad, guys. Oof.
With their spirits broken, Zenitsu and Inosuke stopped coming to
I
train.
hate when you like start working
I'm
out
not
and
very
like being
scared,
active and your
so I
body
figured the only thing I
hurts.
could do
Like
is keep
stop.
giving it my all. But one day, Kyo, Naho, and Sumi gave me a piece of advice.
Oh my god, I'm gonna play tag with you guys. Oh my god, tag, you're it. Got you.
Breathing non-stop. We're told that doing so makes all the difference in the world.
It's called total concentration, constant. And it was totally
Nuh-uh,
new to me.
it was on base.
It's a hell of a technique, being able to remain in that state around the clock.
Nuh-uh, this is freeze tag. You got frozen.
Kanao without it. And to achieve such power, your lungs need to be strong enough to break a giant gourd. With that goal in mind, my path was set. The only thing
Zasper,
left
thank you
was
so
to
much for the
put in
follow.
work. I'm the kind of person who keeps on trying, pushing forward bit by bit. Perseverance is the only thing I have. And sure enough, as the days passed, I started to get the hang of it. After a lot of struggle, I finally managed to maintain my total concentration breathing. And ever since then,
Total
it's
poopy.
become a little more natural for me. I've decided.
Oh wait, that
it's
hair flip.
time
Can we
to
do a
try
hair flip?
breaking
Ready?
that gourd. This'll be the ultimate test of my new power. I can probably.
Puss.
No, I will definitely do it.
Dude, like they literally, when I was in school, like they took out, like they were doing construction on our playground, so we had to play on the cement of a parking lot. I was like, girl,
Break that gourd.
not the parking lot. Like literally, there were cars parked in the parking lot, and we'd be like, oh my
They're
god,
gone.
hide and seek, and then hide behind
When are
cars.
Zenitsu and Inosuke going to get back to training?
Like I feel like that's a hazard. There was also a time that our school got mold or something, so they had to put us in trailers. It was so...
I should go outside.
Hey, mother.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Shinobu.
Starting your training for the day?
Actually, I want to test my
I see.
It's a bit embarrassing when...
With how hard you've been training, you might see good results.
Really? All right! I've got this!
Tanjiro.
Yes?
I've said this before, but good luck. I have high hopes.
Everybody's making noises.
Yes, ma'am.
They're
I'll
getting
do my
crazy
best.
upstairs. They're getting litty.
Hey, Tanjiro. Training? The girls were nice and all, but I couldn't even get within arm's reach of Kanao. I did everything I could. Oh well.
This is so
Come to think of
sus.
it, where's Inosuke? Was he not with you?
Oh, he's off playing in the mountains.
What?
Well, it's about time I find somewhere to hang out too. Let's see, where should I go today? I can't wait!
This is hopeless. I've got to finish my training so I can show them the ropes.
I miss Webkins. Anybody else? I do. I miss going to the store and like collecting them.
I don't smell anything that stands out.
Same. I found it kind of recently too.
Okay,
I was definitely catfishing back in the day.
I don't need to go this way. Better try somewhere else.
But my girl was a serve. I loved Gaia Online. That was a slay era.
Alright, today's the day.
Today's the day. I'm gonna be silly. Poopy. We need to collect all of the side achievements so we can get alternate costumes.
What's this?
Your mom.
Okay,
Okay.
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 Good morning!
Oh, hello. Did you need me for something?
Yes, we thought you might like to try breaking a gourd. We were waiting for you.
Whoa, how did you know?
We've been watching you every day. We can just tell.
Am I really that transparent?
Yes.
In any case, it feels nice to know they're looking out for me. I appreciate it. All right, time to try it out.
Good luck, Tanjiro! We're rooting for you!
Blowing so much air into
We're all
a gourd
rooting
that
for you.
breaks. When I first heard that, I thought it was impossible. But now I know that the longer
I was
I'm able
rooting
to
for
keep up my
us.
total concentration breathing, the stronger my body gets. Maybe I can actually do it.
Is this a rhythm game? Wait. Eat?
All right, let me at it!
You can do it, Tanjiro!
Breathe it all out!
I love a rhythm game.
You're almost there! I'm tensing up just watching!
Going on!
I failed?
Yes, finally, I did it!
Oh, no, I didn't.
I did it!
Wow! Congratulations, Tanjiro!
Thanks.
Yay! Yay! Yay!
Cute.
Tomorrow, I'll ask Kano for a rematch. The next day, and just... But since I finally mastered total concentration breathing constant, I actually managed to catch her. All that's left now is reflex training. A battle to splash the other with tea.
I have tea. Yummy, very good tea. Too bad my good friend Maddie's taking her nap.
Are you free to talk? Understood.
Last time, I didn't stand a chance against her. But today, I'm gonna win! Let's do this!
Tea splasher. Oh, it's the same thing. Work.
I trained so hard for this. I'll probably... No, I'll definitely win! I can see how she's moving now.
Whoa, he's moving totally differently from before. I can't believe he's able to hold his own against Kunao.
This is a nice surprise.
Total concentration breathing constant is really paying off. Faster! If I can speed up my reflexes. Yeah! I'll put this right here.
Incredible. Great work.
Thank you so much. Oh. Zenitsu. Inosuke.
This part is so gross from Zenitsu. I can't.
Uh-oh. Munjoro's getting too far.
The technique Tanj...
What?
By maintaining total concentration breathing every minute of the day, it's honestly quite elementary. You just need to put in the effort.
Zenitsu gets
I was
jealous
sure it would
that
be child's play for you in
Tanjiro's
this
playing
Was
with
I wrong
the
about
girls,
that?
but like
I
Zenitsu wants to
guess it was
play
just too much.
a different way,
Oh,
but
well
Tanjiro's
then.
just training
Don't you
with them.
If you can't do it, I guess that's that.
Excuse me? Of course I can do it! Don't you talk down to me!
Huh?
Please give it your all, Zenitsu. I'm your #1 supporter.
Okay!
9 days later, Zenitsu and Inosuke threw themselves into their training and seemed to get the hang of it in no time. Once they mastered total concentration constant, they finished their full body and reflex training without much trouble. Now, all 3 of us have finished our rehabilitation training. It was a long road, but we came out much stronger by the end of it. And now...
Excellent. Looks like you're good as new. That ends the exam. Since you're in physically good health, you're fit to carry out your missions now.
So I'm done training?
Yes. Next is in-field combat.
Great! Oh, before I forget, there's something I wanted to ask you.
What is it?
Have you ever heard of the Hinokami Kagura?
I have not.
Huh? Well then...
She went, nope,
what about
have no
fire
idea who
breathing?
that is.
Never heard of it.
Please.
Well, these are techniques that I learned in my family growing up.
Never heard of it.
Oh, huh.
That's my mother. I actually, when I was watching it, I wasn't really that big of a fan of hers, but now I totally am.
See. So you're
I like how
saying your
deadpan she
father
is, and
seemed
she's
to be
like,
using fire breathing.
I really don't give a fuck about what
I've
you
heard
say.
of flame breathing, but that's not the same thing.
Huh? It's not?
I don't quite know the details myself. I'm sorry. But I do know that they're very strict about the exact phrasing. Flame breathing must never be referred to as fire breathing. You may want to ask the Flame Hashira, Rengoku, for more details. This crow can help you out.
Thank you. I'll ask him a lot of questions.
I'm sure you will.
For now, I'll be off.
Tanjiro,
Yes?
you'll do great things.
Thanks.
Her S's are so crisp, like the mic is peaking. Whatever mic she is recording on was not the T.
All right, let's go. What's this?
I did look for a hoodie that had this pattern on it at the mall, but it doesn't exist. I have to order it online. Literally, are they the same voice actress? Cause isn't Zenitsu supposed to be the oldest of the three too, and he's being gross? I can't.
For the Mugen Train mission, I have decided to send Tanjiro and the others.
Tanjiro has a pure soul and will work diligently toward all his goals.
Yeah, this is
And
Mugen
the
Train.
potential he showed exceeded my expectations. And perhaps
Do you
most
guys hear how
importantly of
crisp her
all,
S's are?
his
I'm not
sense of
crazy.
purpose lies in defeating Kibutsuji.
I am in complete agreement with you on those counts.
On another matter, Tanjiro told me his father had used fire breathing.
Ah,
As of now, there's no denying that he still has quite a ways to go. But I think that Rengoku, our flame Hashira, could give him assistance.
agreed. Considering that his sister is a demon who refrains from killing humans, and that he already came face to face with Kibutsuji, Tanjiro may very well have been born to fulfill this destiny.
What destiny? Whose destiny? Never met her. Quick chapters. There was no fighting between those chapters. That's actually kind of gaggy. Sorry, I had something in my throat. Oh, you can play the mini games. Cute. I can play as what's her name now. I always click this one, but it's not the one I want to hit.
Fight!
I want to play as Mother.
I'll be sure to use a gentle toxin.
Why is he playable? Okay, take a spot of somebody that should be playable.
Oh dear. I suppose.
All right.
Just have to train like there's no tomorrow.
No, 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 no!
I won't lose!
Fight!
Yeah.
First form.
No dodging this one. Yeah. No dodging this one.
Over here!
Leave it to me.
Over here!
First form. Thunderclap and flash. First
I'm ready
form.
when you are.
Thunderclap and flash.
No dodging this one. Yeah. No dodging this one.
Not bad.
Take this. Yeah.
Just over here!
I'll show
Get
you.
up!
Here I
I'll take you on!
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I just fucking did my ult by accident.
Fight!
First form. Thunderclap and flash.
Over here!
Get up! No dodging this. Yes. No dodging this one. Yeah.
Leave the rest to me.
Well, this isn't what I wanted to do.
Just like that. Keep attacking. I will handle this.
First form. Thunderclap and
But you're all
flash.
okay.
Over here!
Get up! Let's try
Over
this.
here!
No dodging. I'm just getting warmed
I
up.
can feel my strength building. Total concentration. Thunder breathing. First form. Thunderclap and flash. 6-4. I managed to use Gramps.
I had never seen that.
Here I come.
She just missed her ult again, girl.
No dodging this.
Leave it to me.
No dodging this. Seems like I'm doing well.
That's enough. Round 2. Fight.
I'm just getting warmed up.
First form. Thunderclap and flash.
Oh! That was cunty.
Take this. No dodging this. Yeah. Here I come.
He fucking blocked it!
No dodging this.
You'll be fine! It's time to turn this around!
No dodging this. No dodging.
Over here!
I'll show you.
Here I come.
I'm ready.
I missed it again!
Thunderclap and flash.
No dodging this. Take this. No dodging this.
Just stay calm!
Are you coming? First form. Thunderclap
Oh wait,
and
she
flash.
applies actually a poison.
Shall we continue?
That's enough. Round 3. Fight.
First form. Thunderclap and flash.
Over here! Get up!
Leave it to me.
No dodging this. No dodging this.
I'm right over here!
Thunderclap and flash.
I'm ready when you are.
No dodging this. Yes. Take this.
Not bad.
I'm ready! Just tell me when we're cornered! Over here!
No dodging this.
Total concentration.
Get up!
God damn it.
Thunder breathing. First form. Thunderclap and flash. 6-4.
That's enough.
Not fair.
Round 4. Fight.
I'll make sure this hits. There.
First
No
form.
dodging this one. No dodging this one.
Not happening!
Yes.
Feel my strength building.
There.
I'll show you.
We're cornered! Try and stay strong! Over here!
First form. Thunderclap and flash.
Over here!
First form.
Does she really?
Flash.
So wait, that means, doesn't that mean she's Viola?
No dodging. No dodging.
Over here!
No dodging. No dodging this one.
We'll be fine.
I think I
Stay
can win.
calm.
That's enough.
God damn it.
Round 5. Fight!
Oh. Someone told me they were.
Dodging will spare yourself from my most potent poison.
Me spreading misinformation on the internet.
Here I come.
Thank you! Let's see this ult.
Breathing. Butterfly dance. Bear in mind that some swordsmen use poison, like me. Caprice.
Oh!
That's enough! We have a winner!
Wow. I got chills. That was so good.
With each other.
That was so good. That was so cunty. Wow. That was so motherly. I loved that. Okay, so then... Okay, so if we have only one chapter left, then this has to be... What's his name? Red hair guy. Red and yellow hair guy that looks like this guy but older. And then... Are these all the other DLC characters down here? It's confusing to me. I want to see Gyu's ult, and I also want to see who this no name. What is his ult? Like, what the fuck? I also want to see Urodaki's ult. I just want to see all the ults, you know?
Fight! Let's 8-4 waterfall basin!
Incredible skill.
8-4 waterfall basin!
Please, allow me.
Save the rest of me.
Oh, I didn't want to do this.
Try this!
Incredible skill.
Over here!
Too easy.
That's enough! Round 2! Fight! Let's begin. Let's begin. Strike me.
Please excuse me. Please excuse me.
It's over for you.
Hey, Nezuko. Okay.
Now's the time. Prepare. Water breathing. 11th form.
Oh my god, Ayato?
Dead calm.
Not really gagged by that, but, you know. It's alright.
Round 3. Fight!
Please, allow me. I'm ready when you are.
Well,
Stop right there.
My turn.
Oh, that was cute. He saved him.
I'll leave the rest to you. My turn. I'll leave the rest to you.
I'm ready when you are. Here I come.
You did not just miss that. And Nezuko does her ult, please. Wait, we haven't seen Nezuko's ult.
Blood demon art. Exploding blood.
Oh, she ate. That was the first time we've seen that.
My turn.
Okay, can you win the round? Because I need to do this guy's ult, please.
If you need me,
wait, actually.
say the word. That's enough. Round 4. Fight. Get a hold of yourself. I'll leave the rest.
Leave it to me.
Here I come! Don't forget, I'm a demon slayer too! I've got this! Yeah, I've got this! Embarrassing.
That's enough of that. Not the slapstick humor. Get a job! Sorry.
Remember.
All right, let's do.
Remember the name Viola. Okay, so I do have to stop playing this here because I want to watch the Mugen Train before I do this chapter. But I will revisit this when we do that.
Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba.
Yes, exactly. Umaru is the only one that works with slapstick humor. I agree. That's my mother. That's cousin. So where we go from here is I'm gonna go use the restroom and then we can hop into whatever. I don't know what I want to do, really. What game do I want to play? Let me figure it out before I go BRB. Sure. Hi, Dynamite Sky. Happy to see you. How are you doing? I don't know. Things. I'm okay. I need to swap over to something because I don't know. You know, I actually do have an idea.